Taurus, this month, you're going to need a reminder of exactly who you are. You are a powerful creator who creates their reality. And that's just the motivation you're going to need to keep moving, because this month is all about maintaining the status quo and staying on the journey. If you want to know more, keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and I am here to help you uncover your divinity and discover your magic. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and follow me over there at Divine Feminine Works. Every day I've got a ton of tarot, manifestation, astrology content that will really help you out. So follow me over there so you don't miss out on any of that good stuff. All right, so this is going to be the Astro Forecast and Tarot Scope for the month of December 2021. I don't know about you, but I'm still kind of blown that it is December of 2021. I felt like 2021 sounded so futuristic, it sounds so far away, and now we are at the tail end of it, and can't say I'm mad about that. I mean, I'm ready to move on, hopefully to bigger and better things, and I believe that 2022 is going to give us just that. But before I get ahead of myself, it's time to talk about the here and now, and as always, you know the deal, we start with the So the theme of this month, if we had to sum up December in one sort of short, concise sentence, it would be when one door closes, another opens. That's sort of how this month is playing out, because we begin the month right in the thick of eclipse season. So 2 weeks ago, we had a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. And then right at the beginning of December, we have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. So eclipses are the universe's way of sort of cleaning things up in our lives and in society in general. So eclipses either take things out of our lives or put things in. It's the universe's way of setting order. And so when we have this kind of energy, it's sort of like you not only have to roll with the punches, but you have to be open to receiving and letting go of what you want on the one hand and what no longer serves you on the other. And that's pretty much how this month is going to go. Again, the highlight of this month is the new moon solar eclipse. But another way to think about this month, or another way to look at this month, is that there's a lot of movement this month, a lot of energy shifts. So we have 4 planets that are actually changing signs. We've got 2 planets that are changing directions, and we have an eclipse. So if you find that at the end of the month, if you're sort of assessing how December was for you, and you feel like December sort of had you feeling unsettled, a little bit unstable, that's because things are shifting and moving around. And that energy actually started last month in November with the eclipse, okay? So it's, like I said before, it's really about rolling with the punches and sort of letting things, let the chips fly, let things sort of move as they need to, and then sort of assess and get a lay of the land, all right? So let's go through the month chronologically and see what we've got. So we open up the month with the planet Neptune going direct in its home sign of Pisces. So Neptune was retrograde from June 25th of this year, and now it is turning direct. And we all know that when a planet goes retrograde, it's like you sort of take the energy and the characteristics of that planet and you direct it inward. So instead of things being directed outward in your life, you're taking a hard look at yourself, you're reflecting, you're remembering, you're doing all of that with respect to that particular planet's energy. So Neptune is all about fantasy. It's all about illusion. It's about love. It's about dreams, those kind of things. And so when Neptune went retrograde back in June, all of that stuff kind of went out the window. Neptune retrograde allows you to see the realness, the harshness, and the ugliness of life. And trust and believe, I think we can all agree that we've really been seeing that. Definitely over the last couple of years, but specifically as Neptune has been retrograde, we've been seeing things for what they really are. The rose-colored glasses come off and we see life as it is. But now that Neptune is going direct, now we're going to be able to take what we've learned while Neptune was retrograde and apply that to life and be optimistic. Regardless of what we've seen, the harshness and ugliness of life, I feel like now we're able to move forward and we can dream again. We can have high hopes. We can be optimistic despite the reality of, you know, life. But you sort of take that, it's like you take, you know, the things that you've learned while Neptune was retrograde and you apply it to, you know, your life going forward, but you're more optimistic, you're more hopeful. All right. So that's really how Neptune direct is going to affect us. And it all depends on where that falls in your chart. Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. So its energy is extra potent. It's great for creative endeavors. It's great for us to recognize and appreciate humanity on a collective level. It's about being selfless, compassionate, empathic. So all of these things are going to we're going to be able to feel those things again. Okay. So that's how we start out the month. And then the star of the month is, like I said, the new moon solar eclipse happening in the sign of Sagittarius, and that's going down on Saturday, December 4th. So new moons are all about new beginnings, and a new moon solar eclipse is a new beginning in a very big way. It's like a new moon on steroids. This particular solar eclipse, I should say, really is about like an ending and a beginning wrapped up in one. That's kind of why I said the theme for this month is when one door closes, another opens. On the one hand, not only is this the final eclipse in the Gemini Sagittarius cycle that we've kind of been going through for the last 18 months or so. It's also happening at the 12th degree, and the 12th degree is the Pisces degree. And as we know, Pisces is the final sign in the zodiac. So there is a certain element of finality with this particular eclipse. So like I said, something is going to end and something is going to begin sort of simultaneously. Although you're not going to feel it right in the moment. It's not like Saturday is going to get here and you're going to be like, okay, something ends, something begins, I'm done. This energy is fluid and it's definitely playing out over the next couple of months. So be prepared for things to sort of shift within that time frame. This new moon solar eclipse allows us to have a clean slate and a fresh start, and it eclipses things into our lives. So I don't know about you, but at the time of the full moon lunar eclipse last month, I experienced a lot of endings. People that I was close to, someone that I was very close to passed away. Things were very jarring, you know, things were sort of being eclipsed out. Now at this new moon solar eclipse, you may notice that things are being eclipsed in, things are being added to your life. People may be coming in, you may be going to a new place, experiencing new things, especially being in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius likes to live large and in charge. It's all about adventure, broadening your horizons. So it's going to be this very expansive new beginning. There's also going to be an element of limitation and unexpected happenings with this new moon solar eclipse because we've got Uranus and Saturn in the mix. And I'm going to do a separate video on these eclipses generally and go more into the astrology of each particular eclipse. But just know that things may be a little difficult. Things, you know, Saturn is an energy of limitation, of obstacles. It's also of endings also, and karma. So you may find that things are finally wrapping up in a particular area of your life, only for a new door to open and a new adventure, you know, to embark upon. So that's sort of how this eclipse is playing out. All right. So moving right along, we have Mercury entering into Capricorn on December 13th. And Mercury in Capricorn is very serious. Our thoughts, our communications become serious, practical, down to earth. We become more focused and think more about work, being disciplined, perhaps overcoming obstacles. A lot of what we talk to people about and a lot of what we think about centers around work. It centers around serious matters. So that's how Mercury in Capricorn is going to play out. And again, that's going down on December 13th. That same day, December 13th, Mars is going to be moving into the sign of Sagittarius. Mars being a fire sign and moving into a fire sign makes Mars sort of extra happy. And this is really about, we become motivated by our desire to act according to our ideals and beliefs. Sagittarius, apart from just, ruling long distance travel, higher education, Sagittarius is all about expanding our minds, and it's also about faith, belief, and spirituality. And so now Mars being a very action-oriented planet, a planet that is concerned with initiation, we're going to want to move according to what we believe in and what we have faith in, and being very strong and convicted in those beliefs. Additionally, we'll want to start new adventures, blaze new trails, start new projects, initiate a whole bunch of things on a very grand scale, right? The only thing you'll have to keep in mind is that Mars in Sagittarius is like great for starting things, but not necessarily finishing. So you may have all of these projects that you start, you may have multiple projects, or you may have one big project. It's going to be very important for you to keep your level of motivation high, because in the beginning, you're going to be really fired up. You're going to be like, yes, I want to do this. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And then shortly thereafter, you're going to be like, nah, whatever, or it goes by the wayside or anything like that. So that's definitely going to be something that you're going to be mindful of when Mars enters Sagittarius. All right, so moving right along, we have the full moon in Gemini going down on December 18th. And obviously, if you've watched any of my videos before, you already know that full moons illuminate. Full moons are either the culmination of a manifestation or they illuminate something that's been hidden. Gemini rules communication, it rules siblings, it rules extended family members, short distance travel, business, sort of your everyday busy body kind of energy is what Gemini is. And so with this, you're going to find that you'll probably either be really busy around this full moon, your communication with people is going to ramp up, you may be taking short distance trips, maybe you planned a short distance trip sometime prior and now you're finally going on it. You may find that something that you thought about back at the new moon in Gemini back in June now is coming to fruition. You may find that just your general environment is just busy. That's sort of how this full moon is going to play out. And again, that is on December 18th. Moving right along, the next day on December 19th, we have Venus going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So Venus in Capricorn is very serious as well. Just like I spoke about Mercury in Capricorn being serious, Venus is the same thing, but its energy is more focused on relationships, money, things that we value, aesthetics, beauty, comfort, luxury. All of those things become very serious, very tangible, and very down to earth. Venus in Capricorn is the energy that's going to get you to save money to buy a big ticket item. It's going to have you make a plan of action to redo your house, have a relationship. It's very practical, diligent, and down to earth. That's when Venus is direct in Capricorn. So now when Venus is retrograde in Capricorn, we take that energy and we direct it inward. So this really becomes what are the things that I value in my life? What is important to me? What are the criteria that I need to be in a relationship? Everything that Venus is about, we direct that inward. And being in Capricorn, we take a very practical, down-to-earth focus to it. Even creativity becomes very much more practical. How do I do things? How do I make money from what I create? What values are important to me in relationships with respect to assets? What's fair in my life? Am I being fair to myself? So that Venusian energy, everything Venus is going to be directed inward when Venus goes retrograde. And again, that's on December 19th. Moving right along on December 21st, Capricorn season officially begins when the sun moves into Capricorn. So there's a lot of Capricorn energy this month. So if you feel like December is really sort of heavy, it's sort of not very exciting. I mean, the holidays are around, so there's that certain element to that. But maybe you think about the holidays in terms of how much money am I spending? How much overtime do I have to work in order to buy people presents? Those are the sort of Capricorn-like thoughts that are characteristic of the sun in Capricorn. We become very disciplined. Work becomes a real thing. We focus on getting things done in a practical, down-to-earth sort of way. Our status in life becomes something that we become concerned about. Business, all of those sort of mundane, practical things are what are characteristic of Capricorn season. And again, that begins on December 21st when the sun moves into Capricorn. And then finally, we close out the month with Jupiter heading into its home sign of Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces is like love, an overdose of love. Jupiter is all about expansion and growth, right? And so Jupiter in Pisces is really about expanding our awareness of spirituality, compassion, and love, but love on a grander scale. It's not like how you love your parent, how you love your child, how you love your spouse or your significant other. It's how you love humanity. Your love grows and your love expands, right? You start to, Pisces is a very intuitive sign. It's a very sensitive sign and an empathic sign. So whenever there is a planet in Pisces, particularly Jupiter, we feel other people's emotions. We feel sensitive, compassionate, and empathic towards other people in a very big way, which is great because that helps us understand people and just spread love, right? But the thing with Pisces is that it can be a lot and it can be overwhelming. And so in feeling everything on a grand scale, you really may have the tendency to lose yourself. You start taking on other people's emotions, taking on other people's shit, and you get lost in the sauce, essentially. And with Pisces, the symbol for Pisces being fish, you're sort of literally lost in the sauce, right? So with Jupiter in Pisces, what's going to be really important is for you to feel everything, right? But also take the time and extra room to feel for yourself. So you're going to have to close off to the world at times, rest, recharge, and get back to yourself, because there's going to be a tendency to lose yourself. There's going to be a tendency to really, like I said, get lost in the sauce. So that is December in a nutshell. If you want to know more about what December has to offer, you can either check out the horoscopes, which are on my website, link in the description box below, or you can get a personal horoscope that is designed specifically for you. Whether it's 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, you can figure out what December or any other month for that matter is going to look specifically for you. And if you want to order that, that link is in the description box as well. All right, Taurus. So for you, December is all about maintenance and stability. This is not one of the months where you're going to want to start new things or even end things. This is sort of keep doing what you're doing. That's basically the theme for December for you, okay? And that's because you guys have an emphasis on the succeedant houses in your chart. So by way of a quick astrology lesson, let me explain what that is. So the astrological wheel is broken up into 12 different houses. All 12 houses are grouped into 3 different groups, each group containing 4 houses, okay? We have the angular houses, which are houses 1, 4, 7, and 10. And the angular houses are all about initiation. Those are the houses where you start something new, where you have a lot of bold and dynamic energy. Then you have the succeedant houses, which are houses 2, 5, 8, and 11. And those houses are about maintaining the energy and stabilizing the energy, basically holding on to what you have. Finally, we have the third group of houses, which are the cadent houses, and those are houses 3, 6, 9, and 12. And those are all about winding down, destruction, change, and shifting. And those changes and shifts are getting you to think differently so that you can move in a direction and start something new and start the cycle all over again. So for you, I just explained that there's an emphasis on your succeedant houses, which means that this month is all about holding on to what you have and stabilizing. So for you, you have an emphasis on the 8th, the 9th, the 11th, and the 2nd house. So let's really dive deep and let's talk about how December is going to play out for you. So we start the month out in Sagittarius season because the sun will still be in Sagittarius. And this is lighting up your 8th house of transformation, rebirth, regeneration, sex, and shared resources. Okay. So and the 8th house is one of the succeedant houses. So this is all about maintaining intimacy in your life, maintaining the status quo when it comes to shared resources. When it comes to transformation, it's like keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. All right. So during Sagittarius season, well, I should say the first half of the month, we have the sun in Sagittarius. We have the new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius. We've got Mercury and we've got Mars. So there's a lot of planetary energy in your 8th house to start the month off. And again, this is all about maintaining the status quo. If you've been undergoing some sort of transformation, some personal, intimate transformation, or if you've had a highlight with respect to shared resources such as loans, mortgages, joint bank accounts, all of those things, keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. It's almost like if you've ever been on a weight loss journey, right? And you may initially have that motivation to start, but then what happens midway through the journey? You may get tired, you may get restless, you may get discouraged, and you kind of just want to throw everything to the side and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is one of those months where you're going to want to keep pedaling, keep running, keep going. You're in the middle, right? You're right in the middle of this journey. And with this emphasis on your 8th house, this is really about transformation. It's almost like you are the butterfly in the chrysalis right now. Well, you're the caterpillar in the chrysalis. And you can't just break out of the thing before your transformation is complete. You really have to see this through and continue with the process. So that's exactly what you need to do this month, particularly during Sagittarius season. And I feel like the new moon solar eclipse is going to sort of throw some things your way that may get you discouraged and that may want you to quit this transformative process. And Spirit is like, nope, don't quit. Keep going, keep moving, keep pedaling, keep moving. You've still got a ways to go. So you got to maintain that momentum. All right. And then come Capricorn season, the sun is going to move into the sign of Capricorn, and this is going to light up your 9th house of higher education and long distance travel. Now, the 9th house is not a succeedant house. It's actually a cadent house. So when it comes to these 9th house sort of themes in your life, higher education, legal situations, long distance travel, philosophy, sort of things that broaden your perspective and open your mind, these are going to sort of wind down right now. So if you've been doing a lot of, let's say, foreign travel, or if you've been dealing with a legal situation, or if you've been in school, this may be time when you graduate. This may be time when, you know, that sort of focus in your life ends, essentially. A legal situation may be winding down, maybe ending right now, okay? And so come Capricorn season, that's really going to be the focus. So it's going to be winding down, and it's going to get you to think differently so that you can make new moves on this next go around, right? Moving right along, there's also an emphasis on your 11th house of friendships, associations, goals, and ambitions. This is also a succeedant house. So this is really about maintaining your friendships, maintaining your membership in certain groups, a group identity that you want to keep, you know, identifying with. Sorry, that's the garage door. That sounds like super loud right now. When it comes to goals and ambitions, don't stop. You may have had a big dream that at one point in the past, you had the motivation to go after, right? And you were doing everything you needed to do. This is the month where you're going to want to continue that work, continue reaching for the stars, continue working on your lifelong goals. Don't quit no matter what is being thrown your way. Maintain the status quo and keep going. All right. And then finally, there's an emphasis on your 2nd house of money and material possessions. And again, it's about holding on to what you have. You don't want to do a lot of excessive spending. This may not be the month where you want to make any big ticket purchases, even though it is the holiday season and you may be tempted to do so. If you've had a financial plan or a goal, this is the month to stick to it, as hard as that may be. There's Christmas parties. I mean, there's holiday parties. There is, you know, gift giving with the holidays, and you just want to spend and live your best life, but you kind of want to keep the course. Be diligent with your spending, hold on to your assets, and just keep moving. All right. I feel like I can't stress that enough for this month. It's all about keep moving. Don't stop. Keep going. All right. So that's pretty much it for December. All right. So now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. All right, Taurus. So you know the deal. We have 3 separate messages, 1 general, 1 love, and 1 career and money. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with the general message. So for Taurus for December, see what we have here. Co-create. All right, very nice. This is a 4 and a 0, which makes a 4, which is about stability. So this is about taking an active role in creation. Okay. And I want you to know that taking an active role in creation doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do something. Before anything, it's all about your mindset. Thoughts create things. So co-creation starts in the mind. And obviously we co-create with the divine, with God, with the universe, whatever you want to call it. Okay. But this is about recognizing your power in the creation process. But it's also a reminder because, like I said, you guys have a lot of succeedant house energy this month, which is all about maintaining and stabilizing. So like I said, even when you're in the process of doing something, sometimes in the middle, you get distracted, you get restless, you get bored, you get discouraged. So you might feel like you don't want to do it anymore. And I feel like this card of co-create is really to remind you of your power as a way to motivate you to keep going. Okay. You are a co-creator. So you have an active role in this process. So it's almost like you can't just drop it by the wayside because you have an active role in it. But again, co-creation is not just about doing something. I don't want you to feel like you have to spend this month doing a whole bunch of stuff because, oh, this card says co-create, so I have to keep creating. A lot of times maintaining that energy is maintaining the right frame of mind. And I feel like that is going to be of the utmost importance this month. Okay. Let's get another card on here and see what we have. We've got 2, but I'll take it. Oh, this is beautiful energy. We've got 3, but I'm inclined to take all 3, okay? We've got the 4 of Wands. We've got the 9 of Cups. And we have the Judgment card. There's a resurgence of something. I feel like this reminder is to get you to get more motivated and put more life into this process and this journey that you're on. Like there's this energy of being happy, of being fulfilled, of having your wishes coming true. And you're starting to feel that way again. I feel like before this month, or maybe even as this month begins, you may have almost forgotten how powerful you are and your role in the creation process. Like your life doesn't happen to you, you create it, right? And I feel like there's going to be a resurgence of that energy, which is going to keep you moving forward because you've got these beautiful cards here, this 4 of Wands and this 9 of Cups. This is about being emotionally fulfilled, having your wishes come true. And this is about feeling happy and jubilant, okay? So there's a lot to celebrate this month. There's a lot to remember, remembering who you are. You know, if you really think about it, and this is just going to be some, you know, sort of a spiritual side note. Sometimes the purpose of our lives is to remember who we are. It's not to become anything. It's to remember who we already are. And we are powerful. We're powerful. We have the same things that God is made of. We have that within us. That's why we take an active role. And that's why we have an active role in the creation of our realities. And by remembering that, that is what's going to motivate you to keep going, to keep pedaling, and to keep moving forward. All right. Let's get another card here. Let's close out this general. This is a really beautiful general message, right? At least I think. All right. Oh, yeah, we've got bad health. I want to say this isn't about physical health. I want to say that this is really about your mental health or maybe even your emotional health. I feel like up until now, that hasn't been doing so hot, right? I feel like mentally you may have been down, emotionally you may have been down, but now is the time to pick yourself back up. Because once you feel mentally tired or emotionally drained, that is what's going to make you get off the bike and stop pedaling, right? We don't want that to happen. This month is all about maintaining and stabilizing and holding on to what you already have. So you got to keep going. You got to keep going. But you got to remember that you can always get what you want. You can always manifest exactly what you want. You can have the life that you want because you create it. You co-create it with the creator, right? Remember that. That's what's going to keep you pedaling and that's what's going to keep you moving forward. All right, let's get into love and see what we have here. Okay. We've got dead end. All right. So this is exactly what it sounds like, a dead end. Something has ended. There's no place left to go. You're at the complete end of something. Okay. It's the ending of a cycle, but it's also the ending of a cycle that I'm guessing was not so good. Like it's the ending of a karmic kind of cycle when it comes to relationships. It's almost like part of this process I feel like you've been on has been rediscovering yourself. And when it comes to relationships, I feel like you understand what works and what doesn't. And when it comes to a particular relationship or it comes to a particular cycle in your life, I feel like it's done. It's exhausted itself. There's nothing more that can be squeezed out of this, and it's time to move on. All right, let's see what else we have here. This could be also a frame of mind that you have with respect to relationships. So even if you're in a relationship right now, I don't want you to get worried and feel like, oh my God, my relationship is about to end. There's nothing more that can happen here. It's the way that you think about relationships, the way that you approach relationships that has reached a dead end. It might be time to turn around and go in a different direction mentally or emotionally even. Okay. We've got 2 cards here. We've got 8 of Cups. Yeah, it's time to turn around and walk away. And we've got, the 3 of Swords. Okay, yeah. The good news is that this heartache and this dead end kind of energy is over. You can finally leave it. And again, this isn't talking about a specific relationship, although for some of you, it may be time to end a specific relationship. I feel like the way that you've been showing up in relationships, your viewpoint, your outlook, your attitude towards relationships that has always resulted in this kind of energy or has always resulted in this kind of energy, like walking away, that's done. That part of your life is done. The way that you've been approaching those things is done. It's finished. And now it's time to turn around and have a whole new perspective on love and relationships. Okay, let's get one more card here for this love message. All right, we've got family room. This denotes something happening very soon. Okay, so this to me signifies that this change, this shift in relationships is happening like now or very soon in the near future, perhaps in 3 days or 3 weeks. But this shift, you're probably right in the middle of this shift, to be honest. And it's on a very sort of personal level. So this to me speaks again to your outlook and your attitude toward relationships. That's changing, and it's changing for the better. All right, let's move on to career and see what we have here. Okay, we have 2. We have the Whip and we have the Scythe. I don't know why I heard BDSM, but for some of you that may be a thing this month. I don't know. That's your business. I have nothing to do with that. But it's about cutting things out and whipping things into shape. I feel like you are going on a sort of mental diet as it pertains to your career and your money. There are certain things that you are forcing into submission and other things that you're just cutting out completely. But there is this energy of like sweeping up, cleaning up, getting things in order, trimming the fat, also getting rid of what doesn't serve you, what's not helpful to you or to others. You're taking a very structured and very disciplined approach to your career right now. Okay, let's get another card here and see what else we have. Okay. Oh, all right. So it looks like all of this discipline and order that you're instilling or that you are sticking to when it comes to your career is going to pay off handsomely because it's going to have you completely emotionally fulfilled. So this work that you're doing, whatever you're doing right now when it comes to your career, you're going to want to keep doing it because it's going to lead to everything that you've wanted in terms of your career and money. So again, the theme this month, stabilizing and keep pedaling. You're going to want to do that when it comes to your career. Unless, of course, you haven't been disciplined when it comes to your career and money. If that's the case, you're going to want to get on that bandwagon right now. I mean, like right now. Like you're going to want to clean things up. You're going to whip things into shape, trim the fat, cut out what doesn't need to be cut out what you don't need to be doing anymore. Perhaps if you own your own business, maybe there's some services you no longer need to offer. You need to take a look at your metrics and see what's working in terms of your customers. If you're in a job, you're going to want to get organized. You're going to want to get disciplined and really get down to work. You know, this month is obviously the end of the year. And so there's a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up. And I feel like that is the energy that you're really exuding this month. So keep on working, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, because it's going to work out very well. All right, let's get one more card to close out the reading. Okay. Unexpected income. This is very nice. So all that hard work that you're doing is going to pay off in unexpected ways. It may not even just be money. It may be connections. It may be good fortune. But regardless, it's going to come right when you need it. Or right when you least expect it also for some of you. But expect the unexpected when it comes to income. So again, to recap, you're going to want to be very diligent with work. Be disciplined, be diligent, keep going, because it's going to pay off handsomely for you. When it comes to relationships, now is the time to walk away from a mindset or an emotional state that you've been in for a while. Things are about to turn in a new direction very soon. And so all of the heartache, the abandonment, all of those sort of low vibrational feelings that you've been feeling, that they are coming to an end, and it's time to turn a new leaf, turn a corner, and finally move in the right direction when it comes to relationships. And generally speaking, you need to remember who you are. Remember your power. Remember your role in all of this. Life doesn't happen to you. You create it. And I think that's the motivation that you need in order to keep moving forward. You don't have to be a victim to your circumstances. You call the shots. Remember that when it comes to everything. If you remember that and you keep moving forward, this month is going to set you up for a new year of wonderful and amazing things. All right, my loves, that has been the Astro Forecast and Taroscope for the month of December 2021. I sincerely hope and affirm that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal tarot reading with me or order a personalized astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so don't forget to check those out. And while you're checking things out, don't forget to hit up my website, sign up for my newsletter. I give a whole bunch of free content on a regular basis, so sign up everywhere you can so you never miss out. All right, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.